This is starting to look suspiciously like a wallet. Ah! Dangerous.
And now they kiss.
And raw dogging it. Is that internalized ableism? Probably. Even though this is the worst one. Okay, let's all just calm down. Oh, hi. Welcome to Some Weird Studios. I am Jo, and this week I'm trying to make a wallet. Because here's the thing. I need a new purse that fits my cane and all my other stuff. But to design that, I need to account for all the things that I'm going to need in that purse. And something that I don't currently have a good version of is a wallet. I have a couple little pouches of my own that I designed. Like, I have a spot for a couple cards and some cash, but not like all my stuff. And then I have a different card holder for like gift cards and stuff, things I don't need often, library card, things like that. But none of it really has a home. So like, it's funny, I'm still programmed to be like, well, but that's something I've always purchased, so I need to purchase a new one, right? So I've spent some time looking around at wallets and trying to figure out like the style I am drawn to, the type I like. In my brain somewhere, there's a memory from my youth of a very specific style wallet, and I have yet to find a wallet that looks like that. I don't see any patterns online. I haven't seen any in person. So I don't know how to get to that without having some kind of reference. Like, I don't know how to make the things work that I'm picturing. And I spent basically a whole day just trying to puzzle it together in my head and like noodling around with some material. I think that is something I can work up to, and I can keep doing more research and try to find a base to work off of, you know, like some reference point to share with y'all and myself, because I'm working off of wisps from like a previous life. And I've never made anything more than just like a little snap card wallet and like little pouches. I think what is doable for me this week is like a bifold wallet with a money, like a cash slot. I also want a spot for a couple random things, but then I need a lot of card slots. So I'm gonna try to build as many into this as I can without it looking too insane. Initially I was thinking of having a coin pouch, but it gets so bulky and heavy, and I literally just use coins for like parking meters, and I'm okay with having a separate spot in my purse for like a coin pouch because it's very hyper specific incidences where I will need that. I think I'm not going to worry about a coin pouch, but that was something I was building into the original design before I landed on just like a regular bifold, no zippers, nothing like that involved. I'm gonna keep looking through the material that I have at my disposal and just pick like the thing that I'm most excited about. I'm probably gonna have to keep testing out different materials because the stuff I started with, once I actually sewed it together, was not a fun time. It is not looking anything like I want it to, where it's just this like scrap of leather because I thought that would be durable, and then to keep like a smooth sliding action for cash and whatnot, having like ripstop nylon be the interior elements. But that's also really hard to sew against. So that plus the leather, I'm glitching. So maybe I just pick a regular fabric and work with that. Certainly even just for like the testing phase to figure out the actual pattern of it all won't be the worst idea, right? Because I want to like this at the end of this week. I'm just going to futz with a bunch of scraps and see what I can come up with. I think I have a shape and size in mind now. I've honed that in, but it took a lot of like just getting my hands on some material and testing out some shapes and sizes, because some of them I very distinctly did not like. Okay, hi. So I do feel like everything I have tried tackling so far has not been fruitful. Maybe this isn't the final form, but that's okay. I have very little practice making anything like this, so it's okay to start with a more basic thing than whatever my like dream wallet is. I picked crow fabric because it made me happy when I saw it, and I also want to make sure I go with something dark by nature. They just get dirty, and yeah, I think this will be fun. I like this a lot. There are 3 crows that are ever present in our yard, and I love them, and it'll be like I'm bringing them with me. That I think is the right move. But then I wanted a different color for the inside, and I did some rummaging behind the curtain, and it's hard to find times to use this up, but jelly roll strips like these quilting things that come in the big roll. I think if I stitch this right sides together and then flip it out, I think if I do that and like stack a few of them, that'll be really good for credit cards. This is a playing card, but this is like a slightly bigger size than a credit card, so I've been using this as like a template. If I'm losing seam allowance at the top and bottom, this will peek out a little bit, then I can stack it. Oftentimes when you are adding credit card pockets to things, you can kind of like accordion fold stuff. Is that the term I'm thinking of? Where you just fold the fabric and then those become your slots, where I am going to make it more work for myself by stacking a bunch of these, but it'll be a really good way to use up these fabrics. So I think I'm going to do a mix of all of this. I have a $1 bill with me just to make sure I'm making a big enough size. So I want this to be able to like slide in and then fold it. For the main pocket, maybe have one more slip pocket and then all of the cards. This is certainly not a tutorial by any means. This is just, hey, do you want to watch me flounder around my sewing room for half a week to try to make something nice for myself, which I seem incapable of so often. But it is my birthday this weekend, and if there was ever a week to just like enjoy the skills I have built at my favorite hobby and use my powers for good and like for myself, it's okay to do that sometimes. I also have enough of this that if I mess up, I can use the scraps for something else, but I can also like recut a section if needed. I think I feel all right about this. Let's cut a bunch of rectangles, I think is what this is going to come down to. I'm trying not to do too much math because that stresses me out and makes me not want to start the project. Off we go. Ooh, okay. The reason I was using faux leather and leather scraps is because it is sturdy, right? So I was trying to think, well, if I'm using quilting cotton, I need some rigidity. And I remembered I have these strips of Decovil Light that's going to help stiffen it, where this is like not applicable in a ton of ways outside bag making that I have found, and even then only certain types of bag making, but I think this is perfect for the outer layer of it. I think I'm going to add either this like featherweight interfacing, maybe SF101 scraps actually, just that's a good idea because it's woven. If you don't know what SF101 is, this fabric in particular has a lot of stretch side to side compared to some other quilting cottons, you know, where there's no stretch going up and down. Actually, there's a little stretch going up and down. That's wild, especially for that, just to kind of like help keep everything in place. I have all these little bits here. I think I'm going to use up. I don't want fusible fleece because that's going to be too thick. And I would like to keep this somewhat compact because it's going to be holding a lot of stuff. While I'm working on this, I am also trying to envision like what's my final purse design gonna look like. And I kept thinking it had to be the same shape as my cane when it's folded up. But I actually like the idea because the bottom of my cane gets dirty and I don't like the idea of just like stuffing that in a purse where I have a bunch of other stuff and raw dogging it. So I wonder if I make just a really simple drawstring bag that I can then wash and like take out that's unattached from everything just to keep it a little bit more sanitary. I think I like that idea. And then I don't have to be hindered by what the shape of the bag needs to be because I want the cane to stay folded and contained. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna keep noodling. I think I'm gonna stitch a bunch of these together and I don't know, see what I come up with. Have some water. I've had mostly coffee today. So actually I think I've exclusively had coffee today. Let's hydrate. rotary cutters just open willy-nilly with rogue blades hanging out. That's dangerous. I have top stitched. Also, how do people do this with aphantasia? Are you just not able to be crafty with it? Like, how do you plan things out? I literally have to like do the work in my head. Like, I am playing a movie in my brain of my hands flipping this stuff out and like how things are going to go together and what happened. Like, I'm picturing it as vividly as me do it. Like, obviously I know I can't, it's not tangible. I can't physically interact with what I'm seeing in my head, but like it's 100% there visually. So like, I do not understand how people navigate the world without very clear pictures in their brains. What are y'all's experience? Do you have like a less clear vision? I know there's different iterations of it. There's like a spectrum, and I'm so thankful to have the version I have. One of the few things about me that I am glad I got stuck with, you know? Listen, it means my imagination goes into overdrive about dark things as well, and envisioning some of like worst case scenarios very vividly. So that's the not fun part of it, but it is very helpful for trying to invent things. Not that I'm the first person to make a wallet, but just whipping stuff up. That's the only reason I can do it. Anyway, this is not the tangent to go on. So all the card slot bits, I didn't interface any of these, so they got a little wibbly when I was stitching everything, just from like stretching to get everything to lay flat, because I didn't want to press it before. But now I want to press it just so everything's laying nicely, because things that we're making just for us are also worth making nicely. And here's the thing too. These are going to get stacked in a way. I'm going to stitch this down, but I'm not going to worry about the raw edge. It's going to add bulk and be unnecessary to finish the bottom edge of these with how I'm inserting everything. So I'm just not gonna worry about it. What it looks like inside is none of my business. I do think, like, if I bought a wallet with that going on, I wouldn't be fazed by it. Sometimes you see raw edges on things that you're like, how was this allowed? Also, here's what I'm thinking. Here's why all I did was like basted the edges of this, and I only properly stitched the top edge. Same with these. I only stitched the top edge because the sides, I cut these a little longer. I learned that trying to make a wallet previously. I was trying to make the Day Tripper wallet from So Sweetness, and I cut the card holding bits to size, but then just with the adding interfacing and pressing it and everything, it shrunk a bit. So then it was too narrow to attach at the sides. I have my main panel for my wallet, and my hope is I can sandwich the card bit in the middle, flip this all out, and just catch the sides and bottom when I'm stitching it all together. Where this is basically going to be a slip pocket, so I don't need to catch the top edge. That needs to be finished. Everything else will be caught in the side seams that will then be flipped to the interior. Hopefully. There's literally only one way to find out. I think I'm just going to take this, right? I can probably eyeball it, but maybe I measure. Do like a half inch. They'll be easier to grab. That's something I'm trying to be cognizant, is the ease of use. And like things I've been frustrated about in other card wallets before. Then half an inch down from there. That might be all I have room for, is those three. This one will be most visible, and I like this one the most. So this being on top is great. And then the lighter gray in the middle breaks up everything underneath there. So I think I'm fine with this, right? Yeah, this is definitely the layout. So I can stitch around here, right? And then I'm going to do a stitch down the center. So then this should all be wide enough to fit two cards side by side. Yeah. And then it'll fold in the middle, leaving room for that, and seam allowance on the edges. I think I'm doing this okay. Also, just kidding. I started stitching along the side and I didn't tack the bottom down. Because if I don't tack the bottom down, then when I go to put a card in, it's just going to slide right. it's just gonna slide right down. The slip pocket here is also a little shorter than the main wallet piece. So if a card is sticking up a little bit, that won't be an issue. That's all right. I caught it before we got too far. Everything's fine. I am having fun with this, but also because I'm finally making progress. Y'all, it's Wednesday. I've been futzing with this since Saturday or Sunday, and I've had it in my brain for a while. And yeah. Anyway, you get it. Sometimes things take a while. Okay, we're getting somewhere. This feels right to me. Trim off the excess. Mark the center. And just do a line of stitching there. Oh, right, I can't nip the top. My usual schemes will not work this time. That's all right. We can mark it with a pin. All right. Yeah, I'll just stitch right through everything. Do from the back, I guess. This seems reasonable. This seems reasonable. We're doing reasonable things. All right, I don't know about you all, but this is starting to look suspiciously like a wallet. This needs to be on the back side here. This, because it's gonna face here, needs to go here. So then when I flip it all out, it'll be this. Yes. I think that's right. I guess we'll find out. Make sure the crows are right side up. Yeah. And now they kiss. So I'll stitch around. I'll leave a gap somewhere. Maybe on the side. Where's the least bulky? Up here? Will that make it easier or harder, it being less bulky? Should I do the bottom center? I don't know. Why is this where I'm hung up? Where to leave the gap? Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. We'll see what happens. What if, am I gonna hate that? Probably. I think I'm gonna unpick the bottom. Am I? I think I gotta redo it. Even though this is the worst part. But that's what the inside will look like. And that looks nice. What to do, what to do. No, I gotta flip it all the way inside out. Damn it. That's okay. Lessons in giving yourself enough seam allowance. All right, flippy outy time. Take 2. There's a problem with Decoville light. And why it's not suitable for so many things. It is horrible for this part, but it's gonna help a lot. Go easy. I'm turning that corner out. Also why it's helpful to not use like actual sharp implements like scissors to turn corners out. This is also why I trimmed the Decoville light down a little bit so that it wasn't so much in the seam allowance. Okay. All right, so now I gotta like stitch. Oh, yeah, maybe I should have done this in this. No, it wouldn't have mattered. I should have done it in the top. Oh, I didn't think about that. I'm in the basement. I can hear my crows through the walls outside. You know what? I'm going to unpick a little bit of this, like, outer top edge, because I realized the bottom here is sandwiching more layers. So I need that to be an internal seam. And then I'm going to top stitch anyway. It's just too much to futz with to make it look nice. So yes, I'm going to unpick this. You know what? I'm going to press it first. So then when I go to restitch it after, those edges are going to be inclined to like tuck themselves in. Okay, so if we go in from here, you can pull just this part through. That's gonna be a motherfucker. I think I have to open this pretty far. But it'll be fine because it's all pressed. This is not stressing me out. See? This edge just wants to stay laid down. And same with this one. Even with the Decoville light, it's just kind of folding in. So I think top stitching this will be easier. Also, like, there's just a lot less bulk on this edge. So I think this is definitely the move. Wish I had thought of it sooner, but it's fine. I don't want to, but I should, so I will. God damn it. Okay, let's all just calm down. So yes, to answer my own question from earlier, I should have just left a gap at the top at the start of all of this, but now we know. And sometimes you just gotta figure things out the hard way. It's fine. I like knowing how to troubleshoot stuff. I feel like that's a useful skill. I don't learn as much if things just go perfectly the first time. I'll remember the annoyance of this happening and then remember to not mess it up next time. Of course, now I'm like, do I make these for the market I'm doing in May? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let me finish sewing this before I get cocky and I'm like, it wasn't actually that bad. Okay, so I'm gonna stitch that bottom edge, flip things back out, then we will top stitch the whole thing and see how we're looking. But I think we're on the home stretch. Oh, this is so many layers. I'm so glad I'm doing it this way instead. Like, I could have made it work the other way, but it would have been a nightmare. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to top stitch everything, but I'm going to start with this top edge back here first. Oh, no, just kidding. I'm going to hit this with the iron just to see. It got a little pulled out of shape like this fabric, and maybe using the iron with some, if I spritz it with water first, it'll help like fix that just a little bit, you know? And then, yeah, try to roll the seams out by hand. I think we're getting there. You know what? That worked better than I was expecting, actually. Okay. Now it's less pulled out of shape. These are like equal widths. I think I can get it stitched down without there being a tuck, like a pucker, a pleat, if you will. So yeah, I'm going to stitch along this edge here, and then I will do the rest. I just don't want that getting warped out of shape anymore. Okay, it's happening. It's happening. Do a little top stitching. I'm going to press. I haven't tried folding it up yet. I feel good about this. I don't know what could go wrong between now and folding it, but you know, weirder things have happened. Now for the moment of truth. I don't know, y'all. I think we might have made a wallet. I want to make sure there's no creases. Doing this. And just try to press one on the center line here. With a lot of elbow grease. Eee. Oh, my little crows. Oh, it's already sitting like, it's already sitting nice. Did we do it? Did I make a crow wallet? I used to be so adamant against ironing anything and everything. Look at me now. Okay. That rules. And then I like it. Yeah, I'm not mad about this. I think we did it. What I need to do is put all my cards in here and see if there's enough room, but obviously there's lots of personal information on those. So I think I need to test it and then just let you know if there's enough room. Okay, hi. I just realized I never did like a wrap up closing ceremonies for this project, but I did do a test run with my actual wallet fodder, and I'm very happy with the size of it. It's gonna hold everything I need it to. I don't know why I was overcomplicating everything, because I'm me, because that's what I do, but we're trying not to do that anymore. But yeah, we did it, gang. I got a crow wallet. It's so cute. Oh, I do want to see, I think it'll be good, but I do want to make sure it's gonna fit in the spot I put my wallet in my purse, and also show like this is the purse I want to upgrade / replace. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. And then this won't be permanent. I got a workshop purse ideas, but very happy with this. I've needed this for a long time. Got something I'm excited about. It's a little gift to myself. Oh, and speaking of my birthday, if you don't know, every year I make a DJ Bog Troll birthday party mix, and I literally make physical CDs to send out to the Mailtime perk tier. I will honor that if you sign up before the end of March. Otherwise, you'll just have to wait till next year. It's my favorite thing to make every year. It's so silly, and I'm so thankful that everyone indulges me with it. I'm very proud of the playlist this year, and I will be posting the playlist on Patreon for every tier to have access to, where I'll do a Spotify one and a YouTube one. The caveat is not every song I put on there is findable on Spotify and or YouTube. So the only way to get like guaranteed all the tracks and all the right versions of the tracks is with the CD, which I know not everyone even has access to playing that. So why I insist on this format, I don't know. It's because I'm a 90s kid. That's why. But speaking of Patreon, it is thanks to everybody over there that I'm able to do all of this. As someone who is becoming increasingly disabled, I don't know why that word scares me. I feel like I haven't earned it for some reason. Is that internalized ableism? Probably. I say this as I'm holding the bag where my cane lives. There's a lot of things that aren't as easy for me to manage as they used to be. And because of all of y'all, I'm able to keep my head above water with the videos and the projects, and I can't thank you enough for it. And with that, I'm going to treat myself. Well, I'm not treating myself. It was a gift from my husband that I'm going to see Cabaret, a production of that in my hometown. I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I always get emotional when I'm seeing people like doing the thing they're meant to be doing. They're so talented, and like I've cried at almost every production I've seen, even really silly ones. But I know Cabaret is a very heavy story, and especially considering the times we are in, I think it's going to feel cathartic, but also like reaffirming for how I'm feeling about things. A theme of the playlist for this year's mix CD is we gotta fight back. And we are fighting back. And the only way to get through this is together. So I appreciate you all being here. I will see you with another video in 2 Fridays. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's just do that while it's looking nice before it looks unnice, you know? Big girl brain, big math brain, lots of folds, not smooth. Math is hard. It feels like that scene in Zoolander where they're like, it's in the computer. Am I gonna pin it? No, maybe. Stop yelling at me.